welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing my first houseplant tour of 2021. I am not quite sure how many plants I have, but I will count them at the end and let you know. First, we're going to be starting in this room. This is my daughter's bedroom. It is south facing, and let's jump to it. Corner, I have this pretty large ficus teneki that is just in this pot, and I have it kind of like right up against the window, and it seems to be really happy there. I was struggling with these guys, and I think I finally figured them out. Moving down, I have, these are some variegated gingers. These were sitting in like nursery pots, way too small for them, outside in the summer, and then I repotted them in the end of summer, and they have lived in these pots all winter, and they're absolutely thriving. Like, this one is huge. So they definitely love this room. This one isn't doing the best, but it's definitely absolutely beautiful, and this one is just climbing. It's so happy. Starting on the top shelf of this little shelf I have here, we have a Aglaonema, or otherwise known as a Chinese evergreen. I'm not sure the variety, but if you know, let me know. This is just a Christmas cactus that I got at Christmas, and he just sits in this little pot that my friend gifted me, just a little cute one in a little small 4-inch pot. This is a prop box that didn't end up working out, but I just haven't moved it yet. Moving on to the second shelf, I have a very sad, this used to be a rainbow Tradescantia, but it's definitely not happy at the moment. I had cut it back, and I have one propagating in the basement that is super happy, and we will get to that shortly. These here are just two smaller Aglaonemas. I just purchased this one. I think it's like a tigress Aglaonema. It's just a cute little one. And I'm not sure what the variety of this one is, but it is, I think I might have this one, I'm not sure. But it has white there, and it has also white on the edges. So I think this one is probably one of my favorites. And then just sitting here is another Tradescantia, like a cream or a, I can't remember the variety of this one, but this one's super happy here. It's actually pretty big, and it trails down there. Moving to the opposite side of the room, we have a pretty large Syngonium here. I actually got this one off of Facebook Marketplace, and I've never repotted it. The lady potted it in a bowl. I've propped it very many times, and it's definitely super happy here. And then just on this shelf here, I have a Samurai Sansevieria, I think. It needs to be in a different pot because it's flopping all over the place. Just moving here, we have a ficus, variegated ficus, I'm not sure. I think it's a variegated ficus. This guy has been with me for about over a year, so he's definitely super happy, and I can't wait for him to grow. He definitely loved being outside in the summer as well. Moving up, I have a shelf up here, and I'll try to do my best. This is a Cissus Discolor, a Rex Begonia vine, and it is on a trellis, and I'll keep it on a trellis. Just down here, we have a very small Philodendron Brandy cutting. Beside that, we have a neon pothos that I have climbing up this little basket. Here we have another Aglaonema that's actually about to bloom soon, but I absolutely love the colors on Aglaonema. Right beside that, that's my pride and joy. This is my Scindapsus Pictus Exotica. I did have it trailing down, but then I decided to put it up on a pole, so we'll see how that works. I decided to bring this one down. This is my Philodendron Birkin. And then we have a ZZ Raven, and just a Pearls and Jade Pothos. There is one more plant in here. This is my ruby rubber tree. Unfortunately though, it has scale. I noticed that, so I have to clean it up. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. Moving on to my bathroom, which is west facing, and it's a very small west facing window. I only have 4 plants in here. This is just my Philodendron Cordatum Green, and it's just a vining cordatum. Absolutely loves it in here. It was in my front window, which is north facing, but it definitely has been shooting off new shoots and vines since being in here. Up top here, I have my Philodendron Imbi. I had to separate this guy because he has a little bit of spider mites, so I'm treating him, and he's kind of in quarantine away from other plants. And then just moving down, I have a kangaroo fern that, oh my goodness, is so happy in here. It loves the humidity in this room. And then this is a Peperomia obtusifolia. This plant is not mine though. I'm going to be shipping this off shortly. Moving on to my bedroom, which is a north facing. I have a pretty sad Gryphon begonia up there. It definitely likes to follow the light. So every time I turn it, it gets pushed up against the wall, and I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with that guy. Here we have just a normal white butterfly syngonium. I see I have to cut off some dead leaves because I forgot to water it. Then here we just have a Tradescantia purple. That's just living its best life. And this is just a little pot that I made of lemon lime, philodendron cordatum, and Brazil philodendron. I love the color combination of the dark green and the lime green. So I love that little pot. Sitting on my TV stand, I have a Dieffenbachia tiki. This guy had some spider mites. I haven't seen them really, but I just honestly think I forget to water the plants in my bedroom the most. Here we have a money tree that was very unhappy, but then I soaked it and thoroughly watered it for a few days, and it seems to have bounced back and figured its thing out and lost a lot of branches, but seems to be doing okay now. And then just right in front of the window, I have here a whalefin sansevieria. I have a ZZ Zenzi and a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, otherwise known as the mini monstera, which actually has a cute new leaf. And I have it going up my moss pole here. Moving on to my living room, which is also north facing. I have I think a golden flame sansevieria up there. I have a very large, healthy, happy, lush philodendron Brazil that sits on top of this shelf. I have just a very small Sansevieria Mikadu, I think, but there is a little baby in there. This is my philodendron lemon lime cordatum. I had to cut it back because it wasn't happy, but it seems to be doing a lot better and giving me a lot more new growth. This shelf is kind of sad. This is a Moses in a boat that's pretty much almost all reverted and just unhappy. This is a ribbon plant that always gives me a new little leaf. And then tucked in the back, I have a pearls in jade. Not the happiest. In the springtime, I'm going to bush it out and possibly sell this guy. And here we have two pretty large Dieffenbachias. These are the two plants that started this entire journey for me. Here, right in front of the window, I have just a regular green ZZ that doesn't need that much light, so I kind of like layer it on the ground. And then right beside it is a lemon lime Dracaena, I do believe. And then up on this little shelf is a Calathea. I can't remember the name, but I'll definitely put the name of it on the screen here. Here I have a marble queen that has a lot of yellowing leaves. I'm trying to figure out what this guy wants. I think it needs a little bit of water, but besides that, I don't know what's happening with it. So I'm kind of like playing around with it. Right behind me is a Bolivian Tradescantia, which is exactly the one that this one is, but I just can't show you because it's very bright and it'll just be very awkward and the lighting will just be off. But this is a Bolivian Tradescantia, and they kind of hate me right now, but I'm going to be giving them a really big haircut soon. So stay tuned for that. Right here is a variegated goldfish plant, which hates me. If I touch it, leaves fall off. It constantly sits under this grow light and I don't touch it except to water it. So I never touch it. Here I have another Aglaonema with the white stem. I don't think it's the same one as the other one. This one is gorgeous, so I love it. This Maranta Kim, I forgot to water. If you forget to water your Marantas, they're very dramatic and half of them don't come back. So I definitely have to cut this guy up, but we all have our plant chores that we're behind on. I have a little aloe that sits right here. I had to move it away from my daughter. And then tucked in the back is a Calathea rufabarba, which is a fuzzy Calathea. Here I have a Calathea Magic Star, which also hasn't really done much for me, but it is still alive and kicking. Usually I have this string of lights on my mantle, but it has fallen down. Thus my vine here has fallen down because I usually have it like this. This is my lemon lime pothos. It is loving life, and it is a very lush plant. Here on the ground, I have just another Sansevieria and a moonshine Sansevieria, which I don't really care for. I'm not a huge fan of that guy because it doesn't do anything for me. And then I have a variegated Spathiphyllum. Up on the mantle, I have a Philodendron Micans. And I have, I think, is a Philodendron Burley Marks, just a green one. I'm not sure though. If I'm wrong, you can let me know. And I have another Rhaphidophora tetrasperma, which is popping out a new leaf. So I definitely have to put this on a trellis or make a bigger pole. Up at the top of this little cabinet, I have 2 calatheas, but I can't reach them. They're not that nice to look at anyways, so we'll just keep them up there. In this cabinet, I had installed some grow lights. I used to have a humidifier going in here, but I don't anymore. This is a sunset oxalis. It's such a pretty oxalis. It's like a burnt orangey yellow. It's stunning. Beside that, I have just a regular red Maranta prayer plant. We're not going to talk about these 2 calatheas I have because they're not happy. Tucked away in the back is a burgundy oxalis. So this is just a variety of oxalis that's a lot more daintier than the bigger shamrock that most people are familiar with. This here is a prop box that is actually doing just fine. I had taken a bunch of stuff out of here, but there's some lemon lime, I think pothos, and I think I have some silver satin growing in here as well. And growing in here, I'm not opening the bag because I've been battling with it, is a cutting of a Monstera Peru. I have been trying to root this thing for months. So someone told me a bag with perlite, so that's what I'm doing. Wish me luck. Just down below on the floor, I have a very large Sansevieria. Again, I really don't know the names of my Sansevierias. And the last one in this room is like a parlor palm or a cat palm. I absolutely love it. Again, another plant that I need to cut back. Moving on to my dining room kitchen area. Here I have, this used to be a candle holder. David installed it on the wall for me and I've turned it into a prop station. So what I have going on there is some Sansevieria, some silver satin pothos, my exotica cuttings. There is a string of beans, some golden pothos, marble pothos, and a lot of this guy here. This is my teddy bear vine, which is honestly, I've never moved it. It's still in its nursery pot and I just water it and it just keeps growing and I keep propagating it. These are plants that I'm currently trying to rehab or sell. I just have a few. I'm not really gonna get into them. But if you see any here that you like, except for my teddy bear vine, let me know and we can get you these plants if you want. Starting on the top of this shelf is my anthurium. It's a beautiful Merlot purple anthurium. It's just not flowering at the moment, but there's a new leaf. And then here I have, again, see, I don't know what this plant is. It's some sort of philodendron. It has a new leaf. It was in my greenhouse, but I took it out because it was struggling. So if you know what this is, let me know. And I also have just a rooted geranium cutting, which I'm going to be giving to my auntie. Moving on to the next shelf, I have a philodendron golden goddess and a bunch of cuttings. This is a variegated peace lily, which isn't doing the greatest, but it's actually rooting. Some neon pothos, golden pothos, pearls and jade. I'm trying to either sell or I'm just growing to put in a pot. Moving down to the next shelf. Here I just got this one. This is a philodendron noble. I love these leaves. Like, look at this leaf shape. It's stunning. Reminds me of Mickey Mouse. This is a Swedish ivy cutting that has been struggling. Back here, this one needs to be watered. Oopsies. This is a philodendron super atom. I definitely need to water this guy. And then here I have just another ivy that a friend gave me. Ivies don't really like me, but I'm trying to keep the soil as moist as I can. And then here I have just a little terrarium with polka dot plants and nerve plants. It's in a fishbowl. I also am trying to sell this one, so if you're interested in this and you know me and live in Winnipeg, let me know. This is the mother plant of that little baby Swedish ivy right there. It is struggling, but it's still growing at the end, so I might chop it and then just repot it up. Here I just have a kind of like a pink and cream green Dracaena, which seems to be doing just fine in here, or otherwise known as a spike. A lot of people call these spikes. Right in front of the window is where my other Ficus teneki resides. Just up here I have a black pagoda lipstick plant. It did have some mealybugs, but I have not seen any in a long time, and it's now giving me new growth. So I think this guy was most happy outside, so I can't wait for summer to come. He will definitely be going back outside. This is my mandarin orange spider plant, and beside it is just a pot of geranium. Moving on more into the kitchen, here is a foxtail fern that I once got at Costco. Costco sometimes has good deals. And then we have just not a pearls and jade, but the other one. Now I can't remember what they're called. And then I have a starfish sansevieria in the back, which has a little baby, so cute. And then just a mixture of some more polka dot plants. Right behind me, I have my silver satin pothos, which kind of is wrapping around my door frame, as you can see. Moving on top of my microwave, I have a philodendron narrow, my mandula pothos, another aglaonema, I think this is a silver stripe, a small pot of Tradescantia purple, and then moving up, this one is going to be hard to show you. All right, so we have some Cylindrica sansevieria. I have a huge cup of sansevieria cuttings that I'm rooting because my daughter keeps picking at that giant plant. And then I have a Hoya crimson queen rooting, and then this I think is ZZ. It got ripped off, so I'm rooting it. This will literally take 6 months. Here I have 2 more terrariums that I'm trying to build in cute little vases. These ones are going to be cactus ones. So there is one cactus in there, and then there is another cactus in there. Here I put a very rooted spider plant in this crystal skull vodka bottle because I think it's so cute. And then the last one on the shelf is my Monstera adansonii, which honestly hated me last year, and then ever since I put it up here, it thrived. I have it kind of trailing all the way up there, and then actually that piece fell, but usually it's on that one, and then I have it hooked on, and I'm gonna have them trailing more this way towards this window. And then on top of my pantry, I have a Stromanthe Triostar and a Rattlesnake Calathea. And the last few that I have in my kitchen are ferns. So I have my crocodile fern, I think that's what that's called, my bird's nest fern, my blue star fern, and my asparagus fern, which honestly is probably my favorite out of all of them. And this here is just a very sad pilia plant, I think. It hates me. Some sort of mouse ivy. I don't like it. And then finally, the last one that I have in this room is this guy. This guy was so happy. It was like a tree. It was my favorite succulent. And then it fell and it broke. So I had to repot it. I potted the new cuttings just right back into the pot. That regrowth is so adorable. Hey guys, and that was my houseplant tour of 2021. I will probably do another one in the middle of the year and then at the end of the year. Let me know what your favorite plant was in my collection down in the comments section down below. And I will talk to you guys next time. XOXO. MM.